many people you think attended Fiesta?
That is nice thing.
How many
Oh, and
bucks?
then they used to have horse race, by the way.
Where?
About the horse race. There was one guy that lived back there, and he had a horse that he would challenge anybody, that the people that came or whatever, for the race. And then they would line up where that tree is, what I was telling you about. And then they would race down this way. They would race that area right in there. So you can see they didn't go very far, but I mean, he didn't have a saddle or nothing. He just put a thing around the horse's middle there, and then he'd stick his two knees in there, and then that was it. I mean,
Dang.
and it was a lot of people would gather. A big deal, big show. And then when what they did for entertainment, oh, by the way, when they invited these people to come here, they had one ramada that was it's like a dormitory. It had no partitions. It was just the tops and the sides, and the sides were very high, about so high, all the way around. And then they would. Then that's where the guests would stay, and then they gave the guests enough food to last them a week. I mean, they would. Then you had to build their own fires in this dormitory type thing until there was. So that's how they. Both of them did that. Campo did that. Conejos did the same thing.
We're talking about entertainment.
Oh, with entertainment, they would dance. They would dance something like this bird thing they're doing today with a rattle. They would dance all night long. They'd go around. They dance around the inside of the armadas, on the ground, all the way around.
Did they have fire or anything?
No,
No fire?
no fire. It's too hot in the midst of
It
summer.
was hot summer.
Uh-huh.
They didn't dance back and forth then like they do today. With bird, they dance back and forth.
Yeah, but then they keep moving further and further and further and further
Oh,
and further.
I get you.
Because this is going to be an all-night affair.
How old were you during these days?
How old was I? I don't know.
Are you a boy?
I was little.
Okay.
I remember when it's kind of comical, I guess, or something. Campo guys didn't like me, the kids. The kids they never did like because we could speak English and we could speak Indian. It doesn't make any difference which one we spoke. And they called us American.
Oh.
And then so one night when we were playing around here as kids, I had a kind of a white shirt like type thing. And I guess they were jealous. They didn't like that. And about 2 or 3 guys grabbed me and took me back there and tore all my shirt up.
Oh.
So anyway, I remember that real good.
Did they have any games for the kids?
But they, no, they had the games that they played was the adults were that they have a button sewing contest. They would have men on horseback, and they would, and then the ladies, they give them one button and then some thread, and you had to make a cross, and then they would line up back there, and then they would let them race towards where the ladies were, and then they would jump off, and then run up to the ladies, and the ladies would sew just as fast as they could because the one that finishes first is the winner, you know. So then the horses would go back. Then the judges would come and look at all the sewing that was done. It had to be real perfect for them to get the prize.
So the speed wasn't always the prize. The fastest one didn't always win.
No, it had to be. It had to be a good.
Were the judges lady or man?
Huh?
Were the judges lady or man?
Oh, you got me. I don't remember.
What'd they win? They won.
Huh?
What'd they win?
I don't remember that either. Couldn't be much.
Did they play other games like Biak? You know, they play.
Oh, and then that was one of them. That was one of the entertainments, and the other entertainment, they had foot races. They had foot races. I mean, it was all adults foot races. Creaky kind. I think I don't remember any other game they played.
They play peon.
Yeah, they played peon, but that was nighttime. That was nighttime stuff. Same things they do now. They play peon all night long. Depends, you know, how the games go. It could end real quick, like, you know, it all depends.
Did they play Biak down here? Pilote? They play that? They play it down here somewhere?
Huh?
Did they play Pilote?
Oh, there was only one I seen that. That was hockey. That was in Sequan. The men went down and made some hockey sticks out of willows. They would go down there and find some willows that had crooks in them, and then they would cut that. And then they had a ball that they would bury in the ground. And I don't know what the ball was made of. It was kind of hard, if I remember right. And then they would do it just like they do now. You have to kind of a goal type thing where they would play, and then when they get to that first. And then they had another game that was similar to that, only you played with your feet. They buried the ball also, and then they would you have to pick up the ball with your feet, you know, and throw it over there. And then your teammate, they had teammate, you know, team, and he'd pick it up, or the other guy would pick it up and go back and forth.
Just your foot?
And then, yeah.
How small was the ball?
It was a pretty good sized ball, if I remember right. It was real hard, like. And another thing they did was there'd be a big fight sometime. Some guy would, on that other one, that hockey type thing, guy would get that stick and trip the guy and knock him down on purpose, you know, and then there would be a big fight. I mean.
What was the Indian name for the hockey game?
Piak.
Biak.
Piak. That's what they call golf nowadays, piak.
What did the tribal chairman do at any of this?
Huh?
The tribal chairman, your chief, did he do anything at the powwows? I mean, at the fiestas?
I don't think so.
No? Did he greet the people when they came in with the committee, or no?
No,
Who was in the committee? Do you know?
no.
Was the Indian police down here? Back then, Indian police? At the fiestas?
I know there was some Indian police in Campo, but yeah, that guy. Let me go back a little bit. The guy named Lino, he was Indian police down here, but I can't remember where he lived. He lived back that way someplace.
Did he wear a uniform?
I think so. Did
Did he have a badge?
His badge, right.
What happened when people caused trouble down here? They got drunk or something. What'd they do with them?
Why they didn't have nothing to drink to get drunk? Alcohol was forbidden.
Oh.
Some guys used to mix rubbing alcohol with water and drink it. I remember that. I think that's it. We're now standing where the old church used to be. The old church sat right in here, facing east. And then back up that way, just over where this little flat spot is, it's kind of raised there. The family lived there. Felix. I think it was Piper. He lived back there. And then over in here, just right over in the area, just right close here. I was back there a while ago. You can still see the foundations for. They had built a special building there for the priest, and it was small. It was kind of a bungalow type thing, and the reason why is because the priest at that time only came once a year. He came in a horse and buggy also. So he had a place to sleep there before he go back the next day. And then in the time that he came, he married the people that wanted to get married. And also he'd do the baptizing and all that stuff. And so that's where he stayed when he came. I remember him coming with the horse and buggy. I remember that. And then I remember then they used to say Mass in Latin then. We didn't know what he was talking about. And it had this thing that I don't quite understand to today is who built the church is beyond me because it was just a regular construction, just like a modern building, windows and wood floors, and so was the little house I was talking about over here was the same way. But I don't know. I never did find out who. In fact, I was young then, and I didn't care how it was built. So, but. Somebody, either somebody, the outsider came in and built that house, or somebody here knew what to do and how they got the lumber down here, and all that stuff is beyond me. But that's what they did. And then the way back, straight ahead that way, there's another plant they built a knoll there. The name Ralph, which was the son of Felix. He lived there. And then as years went by, he had TB. And in those days, the only place to go is in the desert. So they took him off to Phoenix. And there's a place there where all the people's TB stayed. And when I was over there going to school, I met him twice. And that's the last time I've seen him. And that was a pretty nice house, that one down there. I think that had a wood floor too, but that was the most modern times. So they could get the lumber down here with no problem. And this tree here, I don't remember that. That tree is growing since the church was, I think somebody tore the church down, but I'm not sure. I don't think it burned up because I don't see any parts of it. Back here, there's a couple, 3 bricks where the foundation is. I saw it a while ago. That's all I can remember. And then straight back that way, where you see that over, that's where that guy Herman lived. He lived back there. And he farmed that whole area, and he had what we call a gang plow. And that's what he's the only one I ever seen where they had plow more than one furrow at a time. Otherwise, you just plow round and around and around one furrow. It took you forever. But then in those days, everybody helped each other, and I can see back now that was for survival. I mean, you couldn't do it alone. So when you went and helped him plow his land, well, he'd come and help you plow your land. So that you're running two furrows at one time. I mean, every round, you know. And we'd see more of that when we go further back that way, and there's some more families live that way. So that's all I can remember this part of the area here.
They did for the burial. They didn't have no priest then.
No, we always, most I think, I'm not sure, but we always had what they called a prayer leader.